Thank you. Good morning. I'm Takashi. So I'm very happy to hear. So thank you for inviting me to such a great conference. And I'm really excited to share what I'm doing to you. You are very diverse professionals here. So I want to share what I'm doing, studying. Okay, so first of all, I want to introduce myself a little bit. And I'm a transdisciplinary researcher on creativity. So the creativity is usually studied in the psychology as a creative thinking, but I'm taking a different approach. And my background was a science of complexity, like this, the computer simulation of chaos and the computer simulation of social and economic phenomena, and doing the network analysis of the complex network analysis and using the artificial neural network like that. That is very computational and a very quantitative approach. I did programming by myself as a hobby and also as a research, but I totally quit this kind of computational and quantitative approach 10 years ago. So I focusing on the quality with a qualitative approach on the creativity. So especially I focusing on the natural creativity. So I name it natural creativity. As you know, today is the age of artificial intelligence, AI, but I'm interested in the natural creativity of human without the technology. That's a natural creativity of the humankind, okay? So to study the natural creativity, what is the creation and the creativity, and also I'm creating tools and method for supporting creativity and enhance the natural creativity with using the language. So some researcher and engineer tried to support creativity with using technology, but I use the language, the ancient technology of the humankind. And the language is my tool, okay? So I found that if we make a language very carefully and sophisticated, that has a very powerful, can be a very powerful tool to support the creativity. So I want to talk about that today. Okay, so I'm doing in this sense, I'm doing the academic and practical study on creativity. I call it the creatology. And the psychology studies the psychology studies the psychic system, and sociology studies the social system. So I study the creative systems. So that's why I called it the creatology. Okay, so I'm professor at the interdisciplinary department, a faculty of policy management, Keio University. That is very covered, very broad social phenomena, and also the policy and market mechanism, very interdisciplinary department. And also I have a small company to promoting my research into the industry. So I have several caps, the professor and president of the company, small company. And I wrote the 10 books in Japanese and 9 books in English. So some are translated in Korean, Chinese, and German already. Okay, so this is an official aspect of me, and personally, I love nature. I like walk in the forest and near the ocean and taking photo and breathing the fresh air like this. So I take this photo last year, and I grow vegetables, many kind of vegetables a year. 40 kind of vegetables a year in my garden. As you know, the Japanese house and garden is very small, so I need a creativity to grow this kind of many vegetable in the garden, small garden. Okay, and I start to cook, and I enjoy cooking by myself recently, and I'm also studying the cooking too, yeah, and this is my hobby. And I draw the illustration like this. So I draw the illustration to my pattern language. You will see in this presentation many illustrations. And also I designed the book cover. This is a published book in Japan, and I designed the book cover, and also I designed the cards. So that is me, okay? So So I'm not a typical professor or scientist, and I'm a creator and creative professor like that. So, okay, so that is me. That's me. So today I want to share a lot of things what I'm doing for past 10 years about the pattern language. So this slide contains many information, too many information for the 45 minutes. So I will upload this slide to the SlideShare. So please check in the detail later after the presentation. I overview and run through the many slides for coming the 45 minutes, okay? And feel the world of pattern language. And there is many cases, but mainly about education and school and local regional community. So please imagine in your context. So how to apply pattern language to your domain or your community or your organization. Okay, so enjoy. So you may not know a pattern language detail, but so I want to introduce my definition of pattern language. So this is my decent definition. That is, pattern language is a collection of words describing essential rules of thumb to achieve a good result in the certain domain. Certain domain means, for example, presentation pattern is a pattern language for designing presentation. Collaboration patterns for collaboration. Learning pattern is for the pattern language for learning, okay? So the words for journey, that is the title of my book, is a pattern language for living well with dementia. That is the domain. So the domain-specific knowledge of practical knowledge is a pattern language of something like this, okay? Okay. We identified the common patterns in various experience people have, or expert and practitioner have. So we need to find a pattern, not in the only one case, but we need to find the common patterns. So this method was called the pattern language. We verbalize the common patterns as a language, okay? So each pattern describes in a certain context what kind of problem frequently occurs and what is good solution for the problem and what is the consequence. So this is my typical format of the pattern in my book. So the pattern name, this is the name of the rules of thumb, and context, in this context, the problem sentence, and therefore this is a solution. Consequently, the consequence is here like this. Okay, so each pattern offers a solution to the specific part, but the entire language of patterns supports the generator quality as a whole. So for example, one of the presentation pattern is just a tips about how to improve your presentation, but as a whole, 34 patterns help you to design a good presentation as a whole, okay? That is the difference for the patterns and the pattern language. Okay, this pattern language is invented in the architecture 40 years ago. Christopher Alexander, he invented this method, and he wrote a book at pattern language. That is for the, this book contains 253 patterns of the architecture, good architecture and good space and good building. So he wrote this for the involving people, resident to participate in the designing the urban planning and also designing the building or their houses. So that is a user participation method in the architecture. That is original pattern language. 10 years later, the pattern language applied to the software design. You may know the design pattern in the software. That is Kent Beck and Ward Cunningham applied this method to the software design. And then the design pattern was published by the Gang of Four, Eric Gamm and Ralph Johnson and others, like this. So this is, after that, there was many design pattern books published in the world. So many kind of architectures and very small about security, about internet technology or interaction design. So many books on the, about what was published in the software design, software domain. Okay, so there is many international conferences on pattern language. The PLOP is most biggest one. The PLOP is pattern language programs. Basically, starting from the computer science, software engineer, software design patterns, but recently they accept the, any kind of pattern language, education, organizational, or business, or something like that. So the PLOP is every year in North America. EuroPLOP is held in Germany every year, the same place. Very nice. I'm a committee of these conferences, and also Viking Prop is originally from the Northern Europe, but about, for example, Finland or Sweden, but now recently traveling inside Europe. And Sugarloaf is in South America, and Asian Prop is Taiwan or Tokyo, like this Asian. And the PAR conference is architecture pattern language conference held in the University of Oregon. There is a professor who is a collaborator with Christopher Alexander in the architecture, so they hold a conference 2 years intervals. Okay, so this is a new one. The purple sock is Pursuit of Pattern Language for Social Change conference that is held that have been held in Krems, Austria. So this is a more social side and creative side of the pattern language. Okay. So in this kind of community of the pattern language, especially on the software domain, there's two books came out. One is Organizational Patterns of Agile Software Development. That is written by James Copley and Neil Harrison. So that is about patterns for designing the structure of the organization. And another one is Business Pattern for Software Developer, written by Alan Kelly. That is a pattern language for designing a business model. That is very not normal in the software design architecture, but new one, very interesting application. Then some people apply this method to the human designing human action. For example, pedagogical pattern is a pattern language of education, how to teach better. And another one, the fearless change, is the patterns for introducing new ideas into organization or community. So they are the human pattern language of human actions. Based on the background, I created many pattern language, 70 pattern language in various domains, including 1,700 patterns for the past 16 years. That's my research. Okay, so there is many pattern language listed here. So I will show you later. Okay, so I want to show some example a little in the concrete level. One is a presentation pattern, collaboration pattern, learning patterns, and the words for a journey. Okay? First one is presentation patterns. That contains 34 patterns for the designing presentation. This is a book, so I put the book in the back table in the back of this room. So please, if you are interested in, please look at after the talk. Okay? So this is 34 patterns for designing creative presentation. So in the book, each pattern written in the double page split like this. So this is too detailed to show that in the presentation. I extracted only the key sentences from each part like this. So pattern name, introduction, and pattern illustration, the context, problem, solution, and consequence. This is the pattern format, okay? So I will read this pattern, okay? The creative presentation, not just an explanation, but creation. Context, you have an idea that you want to spread and share. In this context, plain old explanation of your idea won't motivate your audience to take further action. Therefore, treat your presentation not as just a chance to explain your idea, but as a chance for creation. Work towards your audience to trigger new findings in them. Yeah, I want to do like that every time, okay? Consequently, by delivering a creative presentation that inspired and motivate your audience, innovation is possible. Okay, I call it this rules of thumb, the pattern called the creative presentation. This is really abstract, right? So because that is a number 0, this is a core concept of the, this presentation pattern. Others are more concrete. The main message is important in your presentation, like, as you know, yeah? And doors of mystery. So solving mysteries one after another in your presentation. So your audience become involved in the evolution of your presentation as they are curious and intrigued. Okay, like this is the doors of mystery. And participation driver offers to develop opportunity for your audience to participate in your presentation. So I will hold a mini workshop in this keynote, 5 minutes, just 5 minutes mini workshop as a participation driver for you, okay? And activation switch offers in your presentation include a chance for your audience to think about their opinion and then show them to the path to the next step. Turn on the activation switch of the audience. That is a pattern for the presentation, okay? So we published a book, and also we designed a pattern card for the dialogue and the workshop setting like this. I designed these cards, so I have it there, so you will use them in the mini workshop today, okay? So I use this pattern card in the education, and this is a junior high school case. They exchange their experience of the presentation among the classmates, so they can learn each other like a peer learning, okay? You can learn many things by reading the book of the pattern language. You can learn a lot, but if you use as a pattern language as a vocabulary, you can learn a lot from your peers. That is I'm doing in the pattern language. That is a new way of using the pattern language. I started 10 years ago, so before that, nobody used this kind of usage of the pattern language. So, okay. So that is not for the young people. I sometimes hold a workshop for the high school teachers or professors, instructors, professional instructors in the company like this. So this is a case of the high school teachers. So they use the same card as well as a high school student, because the essence of the presentation is same every time, same, okay? But what they talk is different from the what student talk, but the essence is the same, because we found the abstract, identified the common patterns in abstract level, okay? So you can use this pattern language to design or improve your presentation. So this is a case of the workshop. So they did the presentation beforehand. Then after that, they discuss how to improve their presentation with using this pattern card. So there is a lot of hints to improvement. So they can improve by themselves. Also, this is a case of the elementary school. The pupil designed the presentation with using this pattern language. So that is an amazing case. I think one of the teachers tried to apply this pattern language into the elementary school. Okay, this is a presentation pattern. The next case, the example is collaboration patterns. This contains 34 patterns of conducting creative collaboration. For example, this is the pattern of innovative way. So pay attention to the creation process of a project and invent new ways of creating and put them into practice. Not only creating something, your target product, creating the way of how to create, okay? This is an innovative way. Another one is idea taking shapes. It is better to visually shape your idea if you want to communicate with your teammate. That's a kind of prototyping is important, okay? So the feeling of togetherness is important. So besides the individual tasks, organize opportunity for the team to share common experience working on the project. This is a feeling of togetherness. And chaotic path to breakthrough. My student in my laboratory and I really love this one. So sometimes the project is stuck in making slow or no progress, but it is too easy to take a typical way So, but hanging there for a while, for example, think more deeper for one more day or one more week. So that can be the chance to the breakthrough. So this is pattern encourage us in every project, like this chaotic path to breakthrough. Okay, with using these cards, we can share experience of the collaboration teamwork, collaboration with your friends or colleague or the participant in the conference, like this. And so this pattern language, collaboration pattern is used in the teacher training for the high school teachers in Japan. So this is an example. And also this is used in the junior high school, middle school student in the education. So the same card is used as well as the presentation pattern. This is the collaboration pattern is used for the adult and for the teens, okay? So you can reflect on your project with using this collaboration pattern during in the middle term of the project. So you can improve your project work with using the presentation pattern. This is a case of in my laboratory. They are my students. They sometimes reflect on and improve project with using these collaboration patterns. So this is a scene. They talk how to improve it, their project. Yeah. Okay. There was a function card, not practicing, partially practicing and practicing, the three type of card on the table. The red one is not practicing, the green one is practicing. So they discuss which card is practicing or not practicing in their project. So they can identify which kind of improvement is necessary to this project like this, okay? So we use this in the workshop in the Congo. One of my colleagues supported the launch new school in Congo, so they apply this pattern card to the launch the new good collaboration for that project. This is the case. So this can be a good kind of tool for the supporting the development in the other country or something like this. Okay, this is a collaboration pattern. The next one is learning patterns. Learning pattern is 40 patterns for designing the way of learning. Okay, so especially on the creative learning, I called it creative learning. So this is opportunity for learning. So build the opportunity by yourself. The way of learning and the opportunity for learning. This is about that. And daily use of foreign language. So this recommend to engage yourself in reading, writing, and speaking for foreign language in everyday life. And another pattern recommend to build a community of learning with people who share similar interests. Okay? So with using these learning patterns, I hold a workshop for the freshmen of my university. So there are 3 departments in my campus. So in total, there is 1,000 freshmen every year. So I hold a workshop for the 500 students. There is a 500 student. That is my workshop. Okay. Okay. So there is a undergraduate, 500 student, and 500 students and 100 students in another department. So in this workshop, I did for the 9 years, so 9,000 students already participated in this workshop. So in this workshop, they prepare for the dialogue workshop as like this. They read through the booklet of the learning pattern, then choose a pattern that they have already experienced. Okay? Then they choose the 5 patterns they want to gain in the near future. Not experienced yet, but they want to incorporate in their learning. After that, in the dialogue workshop, walk around and look for the people who has experienced the learning pattern, who they want to gain. Okay? So, and listen their experience of learning. Okay, very simple format. Okay, so like this. Okay, oops. They are the freshmen, so they have no friend in here. So just searching for the people at random. So hi, this is Takashi. Do you have experience of field diving or prototyping like this? So every April, I did this workshop for the freshmen. Yeah. Okay. So this is a survey about the dialogue workshop of the learning pattern in my campus. So do you think it was important to you to listen to the learning experience of others in order to help you think about your own way of learning? Yes, 95%. Okay, good. Okay, about the 5 patterns you were chosen, are you now able to imagine clearly how you can actually take action? 88% yes. Oh, good. Okay, and did you feel that the learning pattern helped you to tell someone your own stories of learning in the dialogue? 90% yes. It is because it is hard for the experience, it is hard to tell the experience you have without any kind of support, because what you experience is very too normal to you. So you can't identify what is important for, valuable for others. So it is difficult to share your experience to to explain to others. So, but pattern language can help what is important for others. So this pattern workshop format make a matching of the who want to know about that and who can tell that story. So pattern language and dialogue workshop is very powerful to exchange knowledge of the experience of something. Okay. All in all, was it enjoyable for you to read the learning patterns and to have the dialogue with others? Yes, 96%. Yeah. Okay. So this is also the qualitative survey. So the students said very inspiring, and the pattern is rather abstract, written in the rather abstract, but they can get a more concrete image of the pattern and the feasibility. Also, they found that in the same pattern have many different type of stories. That is because the implement is based on each person can implement in various way. That is a good opportunity to organize experience, because they have no chance to share like this. And so, and also they feel it became a source of the confidence for them. And that is amazing. Some student can find a solution, a problem they have. That is very nice, just a dialogue, but they can find a solution to overcome the problem they have. And many students feel the fun and sometimes good opportunity to make a new friend. Okay, so after the dialogue workshop, I asked the student to plan their way of learning in the semester. So they wrote a kind of report with using the learning pattern as a vocabulary to describe the way of learning. Okay, so this is one set of the class. Okay, so the learning pattern is organized, the 3 patterns in the one group. Okay, every group has 3 patterns like this. So with using this structure, you can draw the later chart you have already experienced like this. So if you have experience, this is a pattern, jumping, copycat learner, effective asking is a start to learn pattern. If you have one pattern of this, the point, draw the point here. And if you have a 2, put the dot here. And if you have all of them, put the point here. Then you can get this kind of picture you can draw with. So this is actual example of one of the freshmen. Green one is an area that she has already experienced. And the yellow one is patterns she want to gain in the near future. So this is already experience. This is want to experience in the near future. Okay? So every student have different experience, different expectation to the future. So there is a very diversity. Okay, so this is the data of the just entering the university college, and then 1.5 years later, the result is like this. The same person. This is just the timing of the entering the college. After 1.5 years later, she grow more than expectation. So she grow. This is a result of the experience in 1.5 years later. Okay. So this is a case of the second grade student. This is a graduate student, have many experience already. That is very, yeah. Okay. So we developed an application. You can access here, you can use from today. So you can read all pattern, language, learning pattern, presentation, collaboration pattern on your smartphone. And also you can check, you can create this kind of self-check radar chart, experience chart on your smartphone, okay? Yeah. And this learning pattern is translated into German thanks to the professors in Teachers College in Vienna, Austria. So they translated it into German. So that is published in the book. So you can, if you speak in German, please check it. Okay? I cannot read it at all. Okay? So the third example is, fourth example is just last one is Words for Journey. That is a pattern language for living well with dementia, like Alzheimer or disease and the brain disease for the elder people. This is a very powerful pattern language in Japan. So this contains the three types of patterns. One is patterns for people with dementia, the person with dementia. And second category is for the caring families, okay? And the third one is everybody, including the corporate company or regional people like this. So each pattern is for the specific target reader, but the collaborating the practice based on the pattern that can be generated the quality of life higher like this. So this book is very special setting like this. Okay, so this is the example, one of the pattern for people with dementia. So self-intro album recommend to keep a small item with you, such as album, which you can use to show who you are. So some people with dementia sometimes face to the problem of the introduction. They forget something about themselves, so they don't want to meet new people anymore. So that is a problem really happen. So just bring the photograph. It helps to easy for them to introduce by themselves. Okay. Another one is can-do list. The people with dementia lose many abilities to the many ability every day. So they focus only on the losing abilities. But this pattern offer to the make a list of the things that you can do it. So this is application of this pattern. So these elder people hesitate to do something, but after just make a list of the feeding a cat or something, the love the cat or like that. So after that, she very active after this workshop. So that is very nice. And also there's a dementia cafe held in Starbucks Coffee in Tokyo. They use the pattern cards. And also these pattern cards are used in the the discussion of the caregivers in the local community, and also one of the local government take these patterns into their guidebook for the new people with dementia. Like this, there is a newspaper about our pattern language in Japan. Also, there is many people used in the various area of the Japan. And newspaper in the UK, take Sunday Express, take us our books, so that books was sold well in Europe too. Okay, this is translated into Chinese, like this. So I have only 5 minutes, so I cannot hold a workshop, sorry. But in the coffee break, I can do it later. And so I want to skip some slides. So I will upload this one. So I'm introducing another pattern language like this, just zapping in the many pattern language here. The interesting is this is cooking patterns. Yeah, and this is a pattern language for cooking tacos. So you can make a good tacos with using this. This is very interesting because you can use co-cooking, collaborative cooking for that situation. So in the party, you can collaborate with others for making tacos, good tacos, and enjoy eating tacos like this. Yeah. Okay. So I want to quick overview of how to create a pattern language for 5 minutes. Okay. So this is there is no methodology how to create a pattern language so far. So I needed to develop the pattern how to create a pattern language. So this is our process: the pattern mining, pattern lighting, and pattern symbolizing. 3 phases. And first of all, we need to we conduct a dialogical mining interview with people. So, for example, this is a case of the active learning patterns for teachers. So we interview with expert teachers. What is important, and why do you do so, and when do you do so, like this. So we have this kind of interview. Then Crosslink is like this, so with using the KJ method. So that is invented by the Kawakita Jiro. That is Japanese anthropologist to organize information they get in the field trip. So starting from chaos, one-to-one comparison, based on the hidden meanings. Then talking while moving sticky note on the table with your teammate and discovering the island. Identify the common cluster, have a commonality, and keep doubting the clusters. For like this, the clustering takes about 20 hours. So it's a long time, but this is a very important phase to identify the cluster. So after that, we identify the cluster. Every sticky note from the different person, but we found the commonality as a cluster. That is the seed of the pattern. After that, we will write a pattern in the pattern format. Yeah, and the structure building is also important. As I showed this one before, there is a structure. So we make a structure beforehand, before writing, to start writing. Okay. Then the write a pattern first draft. We do the review meeting, pattern review meeting, and pattern revision many times. Like this, so every pattern in the first draft is terrible. So we need to improve, sophisticated among the teammate again and again and again and again. So it takes a very long time, but that is an inevitable process. Then sometime after that, we draw the illustration. I draw this one like this. So this is also the pattern name, and the pattern illustration is very important. That is the symbol of the pattern. So this is the symbolizing pattern. The phase is naming and illustrating. Okay, after that, we find the pattern. So this is a transcriptive mining interview like this. Finally, the old pattern is grounded in the evidence of the interview, but this is not a linear way. So we've using complex process. After that, we got many patterns grounded in the data of the evidence. Okay, I created a pattern language for creating pattern language. So that contains, more than 300 patterns in the one paper. So please check it later. So you can know which phase, what kind of is important for you. And also how to draw the illustration. Okay, so 1 minute, sorry. Okay. So I think that, I think the flow of the age of like this consumptive society, communicative society, information society, the next society is a creative society. That is, people can use the natural creativity in daily life, not only in the, as a company, so people doing the creative activity. So pattern language can help this kind of activity in daily life and in your profession. So the pattern language empower people to create things like this. If there is a many pattern language, so people can start to new things, engaging in creative activities. So I think the pattern language in everywhere can be a softer social infrastructure. So if there is a pattern language in many domains, so you can have a freedom to start new things, to create new domain like this. That is my future vision. So I created many pattern language in various domains, and also providing the methodology to how to create pattern language. Okay, so. I finished. So there is information, another topic I did. So today I focus on the pattern language, but there is many interesting other research, sociology and learning science study there. So please find me in the Facebook and SlideShare or our website. Okay? Okay, thanks so much.